and welcome to a different kind of video. So I think it was a few weeks ago now that I put up a post saying I wanted to do some kind of tier list videos, just to kind of have some more like chatty videos where I can just talk about things. And on that post I put a poll of some kind of options that I could think about, and the one that won was doing a tier list of all of the Nendoroids I own, which is what we're going to be doing today. However, what came second was kind of favourite characters and ships. Now obviously that's very broad, so if you do have a series that you want me to kind of do a tier list for, do let me know in the comments, and I will happily look into it. But yes, so today we are going to be doing a tier list of all the Nendoroids I own. Now a few things to go through before this. This is all the Nendoroids that I physically own, so none that I've pre-ordered, none that I've sold previously, all the ones that I currently, right now, physically own. I have them, they're behind me, which we're going to get to in a bit, but yes, it's going to be all the ones that I physically own, and obviously, I'm going to take into account, you know, the assembly, the build, the accessories it comes with, potentially the price, things like that, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a very biased tier list. The more I like the character, probably the higher up on the tier list they're gonna be. That's just the reality of the situation. So sorry, that's just how it's gonna be. Yes, so I don't have too many, so I don't think it was gonna take too long to do this tier list, but we'll see when I get into the actual like talking about it. So let's go through the tiers. If I keep looking over here, it's because that's where the tier list is. I can see it. But let's go through the tiers. At our lowest tier, we have I Could Live Without. Now, obviously, all the Nendoroids I own, I spent money on, and I still own is a very key point because I have sold Nendoroids previously. So all of these ones I want to own. So there's not going to be anything lower than this. However, this is kind of a, I don't really need to own this. If I potentially wouldn't buy it again, maybe. Like, I'm happy I own it now, but maybe I wouldn't buy it again. To be honest, I'm not sure how many things are going to end up in this tier, but you know, that is our lowest tier. So, next up we have Could Be Better. These are Nendoroids that obviously I think kind of have some qualities about them that I wish were better, and obviously I love having it because I love the character, but at the end of the day I'm not really happy with the kind of delivery of it. And then we have Sparks Joy. This is very simple. I enjoy having it. I'm glad it exists, I'm glad it is in my collection. And then on our next tier we have Cuteness Aggression. Now this is a tier, like, Nendoroids are cute, they're just the cute thing. So this is kind of when I look at it and I just think like, oh my god, it's so cute. Like, which, you know, there is definitely things on this tier list that are going to be there. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then finally we have our highest tier, which is Bury Me With It, which I want to be buried with this Nendoroid. that is it. There are certain items in my collection I want to be buried with. These are the Nendoroids. So I think that's all pretty self-explanatory, hopefully. We'll get into it. I feel like sometimes doing the tiers like this makes it hard, because sometimes I'll be like, well, if you look at it objectively, this should be higher, but you know, my personal opinion is it should be here. So anyway, we're gonna see where we end up with that. So I do physically have the Nendoroids behind me. You can't see because it's behind my chair. But I am going to try and like get the Nendoroid physically so we can kind of look at it. So I have also gotten up the kind of my figure collection page ready, in case I need to look up any details on things, because also the other thing with these Nendoroids is I'm the type that kind of like poses them and it's like a one and done. Like, I'm never touching this again. There is a couple exceptions, but for the most part, like, I have posed it and it has stayed like that forever, so I forget what other things it comes with, what other faceplates and things, so if necessary, we will review the other accessories and things. But yes, okay, I feel like I've yapped enough, which, I mean, this whole video is going to be yapping, but I've yapped enough without getting to the actual point of the video. So we are going to start with our first Nendoroid. So we're starting with a bit of an interesting one. So this is Nagisa Momue, or Bebe, from Polamaji Madoka Magica. Now, this is a Nendoroid that I got secondhand, so I guess a point to consider. However, honestly, I don't feel like she's secondhand. Like, she comes with everything that she should have, and she is gorgeous. I love her very much. I really like the design of this character, so I mean, I feel like I was gonna like it no matter what. However, now that we are inspecting it, we'll be critical. So first of all, in terms of accessories, I feel like she comes with a lot. I don't know exactly the price that she went for when she like first went up, because as I said, I got her secondhand. But she does come with a lot. So obviously she's got like this little, I don't even know what it is, like a bubble blower kind of looks like a trumpet with the bubbles. She's got these two little guys that can swirl around her. She's got alternate faceplate, which has her kind of like witchy form. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe she has some cheese. She has a sitting down version as well. She comes with a lot. So in terms of like a value for money, definitely, you're definitely getting that. In terms of the actual like sculpt and build, when I do look at her, I do think that, I mean, if I compare it to kind of some of the more recent Nendoroids, I do think that the sculpt could be better. I'm not sure if this is just me, but there are definitely parts on her like fringe and things which are not perfect, and I do think the way the actual like coat is done is actually a little sloppy. Like I can't believe I'm saying that, but like when I'm looking at it closely, it is a little sloppily done. Yeah, I can even see like there's some parts where it's like kind of been painted over, so that's not great. We don't love that. So in terms of where I would be tier listing her, I definitely love her. I did buy her just because at the time she didn't really have a figure before. Now I do have her pop-up parade, and I do feel like that's kind of filled the slot of like having a figure for her. But this Nendoroid is a very cute version of her, and also because she is kind of like the smallest character, it kind of fits her and represents her. Like, I'm not actually a big fan of the other Madoka Magica Nendoroids, but this one I do think works really well. So I think, see, this is really hard because I do think in terms of like value of what you're getting for her, she's definitely quite high up there, and I do believe she was one of the first Nendoroids. I should kind of let them off a little bit for some of the sculpting things, but at the end of the day, you know, like when you're buying a figure, you want a good sculpt and a good paint job. So I think we're gonna end her in Spark's Joy. I feel like Spark's Joy is a good place. Currently, I'm teetering between could be better, which I can't believe I'm saying that because she is adorable, don't get me wrong. But currently, Spark's Joy is where I feel like she belongs. So we're gonna put her there. So next up, okay, so this Nendoroid is kind of like the odd one out in the bunch. So this is actually a Nendoroid Petite, I believe. And I have, like, she's my longest had Nendoroid. I bought her when I went on the trip to Japan, I think almost 10 years ago now. And she has been in this pose since I got her. I have never changed it, ever. I do have the other accessories. I don't have the box because I did buy her secondhand in Japan. But if you couldn't tell, this is Kanade from Angel Beats. She is very cute. But in terms of like the actual things that she comes with, the sculpt, the kind of my personal need for wanting her, this was definitely like a certain period of my life and I'm kind of past that. I still really like Angel Beats, but not to the point where I feel like I need a figure of it, even though this is a very cute figure and I love it. Not to mention, I have battled so much with her and this stand. The amount of time she has fallen out of this stand, it's very awkward. You have to like, it's like under her hair. And there's also another one like because of where like her wings are. So originally, sorry, I'm doing a really bad job of showing this. Originally this like part you put in is where the wings are, but because you put the wings in there, there's another bit under her hair that you put the stand in. And it just is not ideal. It doesn't really work in my opinion. Now, for the time that this came out, I do think it is a good figure, and I do like having her, but I definitely wouldn't buy her again, and in comparison to some of the other Nendoroids I have, it doesn't even compare, in my opinion. So she is gonna go in I could live without. Very simply. It's hard to believe that like 2 to 3 years ago, I didn't like Nendoroids. I didn't really like how they looked, but here we are doing a tier list of all the Nendoroids I own. But yes, let's move on to the next one. Okay, next up, we have the protagonist, or Makoto, from Persona 3. This is obviously from the original game, or Fez. I don't know like if they like branded it, but this is from the original one, not Reload. So he definitely has more of the like darker, gloomier look than the kind of... They made him a bit more of a pretty boy in Reload, I feel like, but this is very much more the original Makoto doom and gloom whole shebang. Please ignore the posings and you know, yeah. Anyway, so obviously I really like Makoto as a character. If you've heard me talk about him in like any video that he's featured in, I really like Persona 3 in general and Makoto specifically. In terms of things that he comes with, so I believe he comes with his sword, he comes with a card, and then obviously we have the evoker, both a version where he's shooting himself and one where you can put in a little holster. Obviously, because he is not a very expressionate character in terms of faceplates, he doesn't really come with much. I think he has like an angry shouting one, and then there might be one which has a little smile. Okay, so from the looks of it, I think he only comes with 2 faceplates. I feel like I need to get the box to verify that. But in terms of what he comes with, it ain't a lot. I definitely love having him. I love the fact that he's just there in the corner. But in terms of like Nendoroid quality, I don't feel much looking at him, you know? He's there, he exists. I like the fact that I have him, but there are definitely parts that I think could be better about him. So guess where he's going? He's gonna go in the could be better tier. Although I will say one thing I do appreciate is the little like flare in the jacket on the back. I think that's a nice detail. Okay, so next up we do have the Vanitas Nendoroid. So we have Vanitas and we have Noe. So we'll start with Vanitas. Oh, he is dusty, I'm sorry. I'm a bit overdue in dusting. Please ignore the dust on him. Anyway, so we have Vanitas here. Now I can say this for both Noe and Vanitas. When they were first revealed, the Nendoroids, I didn't really like feel much towards them. I didn't even really like them. I didn't even pre-order them. I bought them after the release, luckily before they became harder to find. But I did just feel like something was like missing. I can't explain what, but there was just something about it. I do appreciate the actual like chain that you have for Vanitas and his book. However, it is such a pain. So the little like end of it goes into this tiny little slot that is under his jacket, and the amount of times that falls out, or this book falls out of his hand, is unbelievable. And even though all of his faceplates are representative of his character, I don't know why, there's just something that feels off to me. I can't like think off the top of my head if there is another faceplate there should have been, because he's got this smiling one and then he's got like an angry one, which does pair very well with Noe. But I just feel like there was something else that could have been done. I don't have the answers for what that is, but I just feel like there was something more. I do also think that potentially, I know it is quite a detailed thing, but his earring could have been a little bit more detailed. But he is very cute. The more I talk about him, the more I actually feel like I'm going to rank him lower in the tier list. I feel like originally I was going to put him in Spark's Joy, but I feel like he could be better. I don't know. I just started talking critically about him, and I feel like he belongs and could be better, which I'm very sad about. I don't really want to put Vanitas there, but that's where he's going. Okay, so next up we have Noe. I am gonna take his hat off because I'm worried about that falling off. Which, if you didn't know, I had a whole saga with Noe's hat, where basically I had them, both Noe and Vanitas, on my shelf. And I went to put something away, and I accidentally knocked them both over, and they both fell down. But Noe's hat went flying, and I couldn't find it for, I think, 3 months. I was looking for it for 3 months, and obviously I found it, luckily. I don't know what I would have done if I couldn't find it. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Anyway, maybe I have some kind of malice towards Noe because of this. But yes, here we have Noe. So, Innocent Plus. He comes with Mer. He comes with 2 Mers, actually. He comes with a sitting Mer and a Mer that he can hold, which obviously I have him holding. He has a very cute faceplate. He has his little sparkly-eyed faceplate. And then he has his, like, angry vampire faceplate, which I think are all good representations of Noe. One thing I do find interesting is the fact of, obviously, he's got his just, like, he's missing his outer jacket, whereas, obviously, Vanitas is with his outer jacket. But I feel like Vanitas's outer jacket is more iconic. And Noe's kind of more iconic without the outer jacket, but I do find it interesting that they decided not to include that. In terms of like colour variation, I feel like there is a lot more on Noe. And again, I know that's a lot to do with their character design, but it's just like details like that when you like look at him, it looks more visually interesting. And it's like, I don't find Vanitas's character design not interesting. He's actually a very interestingly designed character, but I just don't think it translates well into Nendoroid form, because all of those details are lost when you have to kind of make everything a bit minuscule. Which actually I'm going to talk a bit later on Nendoroids that do that well later on. But I do think Noe is a very cute Nendoroid. I do personally think, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I do think they could have done a bit of a darker shade for his skin tone. I do know in the anime he is kind of more that tone, but I do know also in some official arts his skin tone's a bit darker. It's a little bit all over the place. Overall, he's very good. So Noe will have to go in the Sparks Joy category. Also, his hat is very cute. As I said, I took it off because I didn't want it to fall off and lose it again for 3 months, my god. Oh my god, we're only 5 Nendoroids in. Okay, so next up we do have Alan Walker from D. Greyman. He is the second most recent addition to my collection, and he's very cute. I love him very much. He is another Nendoroid that I got secondhand, and I do think this shows a lot more in this Nendoroid than it did in Bebe's Nendoroid. Just because I feel like there's some things that I potentially wouldn't have had a problem with if he was new. He was also a little bit sticky. I don't want to know why, but on his back he was a little bit sticky, which you never want to get when you get a secondhand figure of any kind. Secondhand anything of any kind. Anyway, in terms of what he actually comes with though, I think he actually comes with quite a lot. So of course he comes with Tim Campy, he comes with not a complete alternate head which has this hood as well as a regular one without the hood. He comes with a little skewer, he also comes with some cards, and then his alternate hand, which obviously has his like actual hand and not wearing gloves. And one thing I did notice is that in his re-release, he has barely gone up in price. Basically non-existently gone up in price, which I think, you know, counts for something. But he is a very cute Nendoroid. I love the faceplates he comes with. He obviously has a regular one, he has this adorable smiling one, and then he has one where he's eating. And I just love how you compare him with Tim Campy. It's so cute. You can have Tim Campy on his head. It's very versatile, and they did a very good job. Obviously, there isn't much detail on the outfit in general. I do think the paint job on the hood could be better. It's actually mismatched if you look. The stripes are different sizes. It's a bit hard to show on camera, but it's very obvious in person. At least if you're looking at it like I am right now. Probably not from afar, but yeah, you can tell. But I love Alan so much, and I just think this is such an adorable Nendoroid of him, and it really translates well. And I would love to get more Nendoroids of his alternate looks and outfits from the series. So I think this may be the first Nendoroid. Is it gonna go in cuteness regression? I don't know if it's enough. I feel like the defects really, unfortunately, bring it back. One of the issues that I had with him as well was putting him in the stand. Like, it was so annoying to put him in the stand for some reason. And again, I can't tell if that is because it's secondhand or if it's just me. Because, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I always struggle to put Nendoroids in the stands. It's my biggest pet peeve with Nendoroids, actually. But I think he's got to go in Sparks Joy, unfortunately. Maybe I am going to order these in the tiers. He's going at top of Sparks Joy because he's almost cuteness aggression. He's almost there. I might bump him up later, but currently he is in Sparks Joy, and he's very cute. I love him, oh my gosh. Okay, next up we do have Lena. This is the Bloody Regina version. So there is a regular version. Oh my god, you are so dusty. I'm so sorry. There is a regular version, which kind of has a blue uniform. And then this was a special edition version which came with one of the light novel volumes, and this is actually easier to find somehow. But it does have a black uniform and it has the red streak in her hair, so it is her Bloody Regina version. In terms of accessories and things, I can't remember if there's any differences. I do know for the most part it's the same, but I don't know if there's any extra things. But I do love the accessories she comes with. So of course she does also come with a hat, and you can remove her ahoge to put on the hat. She comes with a red spider lily. She has this crying faceplate. I believe she has a bit more of an assertive one, and then like a regular smiling one. And I just need you to know, I absolutely love this Nendoroid. There's something about this Nendoroid that is so satisfying. Her hair sculpt is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's so smooth, and all of the like streaks and things, beautiful. The ahoge on the top, perfect, stunning. I love the giant hat that she comes with. The crying faceplate is so good and so fitting, but also the other faceplates are so good and they're so varied. And obviously I know she is a character that shows a lot of emotion, and it's a lot easier to do that with a character that shows a lot of emotion. However, they work so well for her, and you can recreate so many scenes, which I feel like is a big appeal for having the Nendoroids. Her uniform looks great. All of the details are perfect. The way the gold paint is done is perfect. Everything about it, honestly, is beautiful. This is such a good Nendoroid. It's so hard because I do think in terms of Nendoroid quality, this is definitely on the higher end. But as much as I love Lena, there are characters that I'm much more attached to, and so I don't feel the same attachment to it. But she is definitely going in cuteness aggression. Maybe that's mean to say when I have her crying, but she gives me such cuteness aggression. It's just, this is perfection. Perfection. She's not going in bury me with it, but she is perfection. And if you are an 86 fan, I am begging you to get one of the Lena Nendoroids that exists. And every day I will hope that they announce a Shin, so she will no longer be alone and crying alone. Oh dear. Okay, we have entered the dreaded part of the video, which is all of my Idol 7 Nendoroids. Woo! So if you didn't know, I'm attempting to collect all of the Idol 7 Nendoroids. I have 4 pre-ordered, and then there's just the 2 that I need, and then I'll have everyone. So it is a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna like pick them up to talk about them because there's a lot of them. So we are starting with Sogo, which is an interesting one. Sogo is my second favourite character in Idol 7, just to kind of give you some context. Maybe I will grab them. I'm gonna grab them. I have decided I will grab them because it's easier to talk about with them actually there. So, instant plus points for having the drill. When I saw that this Nendoroid came with the drill, it was a must-have. It was a need. It was a want. The little sprout on the top, perfect. My one kind of like biggest criticism, I guess, the way that they've done the cardigan makes him seem like he's a bit like chubbier than he actually is. He's absolutely not chubby. This is not chubby. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the Idol 7 characters are literal twigs. Like, they are literal sticks. And so when I look at this Sogo, I'm like, this is not the Sogo I know. The Sogo I know is a stick. Like, you understand what I mean? I hope that makes sense. And I definitely think the faceplates he comes with are like kind of weird. I don't know why. They don't give me Sogo. I don't know, he just looks like a regular, like, white-haired anime boy. He doesn't look like Sogo to me. That's how I feel about him, which is very sad, because, once again, he comes with the drill, which is one of the best parts of his Nendoroid. If not the best part of his Nendoroid. Actually, no, it is the best part. Second is the sprout, the drill, next best part. And for that reason, very sadly, Sogo's going to go and could be better. I know, I can't believe that either, but that is where he goes. But now we are switching to the creme de la creme of the Idol 7 Nendoroids. This is like potentially one of my favourite Nendoroids ever. I love this Nendoroid so much. Now definitely the outfit Tamaki has helps elevate it with the little ears on the hood, but look at that expression. Look at that expression and tell me this is not a perfect Nendoroid. Plus he comes with a little king pudding plush that you can make him hold. He comes with a little king pudding that he can eat. Not to mention the gradient on his hair. Look how good that gradient is. It's so good. I guess the only thing that you could kind of argue that would have been better is if there was an alternate version where you could take the hood off. But why would you want to? Like, genuinely, why would you want to take the hood off when you could have this perfect creature? And so, for that reason, this precious, adorable Tamaki Nendoroid is gonna go in. Bury me with it. This is probably my favourite Idol 7 Nendoroid. Spoiler. I know we have more to go through, but this is probably my favourite. I love this one so dearly, and he means the world to me. If I could keep one Idol 7 Nendoroid, Tamaki is my favourite character, but I would keep this one because I love it so much. And then next up, we do have the face of the show himself, Anase Riku. He is a very cute Nendoroid. Look how cute that Nendoroid is. My god. I definitely have some criticisms. First of all, in general, I really don't like this shirt. Like, I know that isn't a fault of the Nendoroid. That's a fault of the character design, or the outfit design. I don't know, whoever's styling them, please, why the shirt? But yes, do not like. Also, my biggest criticism is the necklace, as you can see, is actually detached and it moves around, and I hate that. Why is it just floating there? It's just floating, hanging, you know? Like, that is so weird, is it not? But the hair is gorgeous, and actually the way the seam is done with the fringe and like the front part of the hair is actually really good. Faceplate, actually adorable. In terms of accessories, I don't actually remember what he comes with. I think he comes with, I want to say it's omu rice, but that might have been the special bonus. He does indeed come with some omu rice. And then in terms of faceplate, so we have this like happy smiling one, which is the cutest, and then we have obviously his regular smiling one, because he's always smiling, and then we have his more kind of idol, like winking face. But definitely cute. I mean, it's hard to do wrong with this. It's very basic, but it's cute. It's really cute. It's cute. Unfortunately. So oh, I do feel cuteness aggression looking at this. So I think he does have to go in cuteness aggression. I think that is where he will be. He's so cute. Look at him. Look at him going, hooray! And naturally, after Riku, we do have Kuju 10. 10's Nendoroid, so cute. I love this little like sprout, it's so cute. Similarly, I mean, the way that they've done oh no, oh dear, that's not good. I was gonna say similarly, the way that they've done the front of the hair is like Riku's, and they've hid the seam really well in terms of like the actual like hair placement, which I always appreciate. I also just realised I couldn't see on Riku, but I love the way that they've done the bangs on the back. I think that's a really nice detail. I do have a huge pet peeve about this outfit of 10's, and it is the tiny, I don't even know if you can tell, but there is the tiniest little bow tie under his head, which, like, why did they even bother to put that in? I just, it's so tiny and small. Like, why would they do that? And I hate that part of his outfit, and it genuinely ruins the outfit for me. I love everything else about it. That bow tie, no, and I can't even pretend it doesn't exist. I know it's there. But I love the glasses that he comes with. That's one thing. Riku does not come with glasses. Unbelievable. But the glasses he come with, and I believe he also comes with a face mask, so you can go for the full hidden idol look. But similarly to Riku, it is just a well done Nendoroid. However, it does not give me the same cuteness aggression, unfortunately. So I do think this is going to be a Sparks Joy Nendoroid. I'm sorry to split them up, but unfortunately, it does not give me the same joy that Riku does. But I still love him. He's very cute. And the winking faceplate and the little, like, is so 10. Can't believe I said this wasn't going to take long. Oh my god. Okay, next up, we do have Rivale, who, let's put them right around, who I have brought together, obviously. But we are starting with Momo. These two were actually my first Nendoroids. So everyone say thank you to them for starting. Oh, they weren't the first ones I ordered, but they are the first ones I owned. So I just need to say, I love this Momo Nendoroid. It is so good. I love the layers on the outfit. I don't particularly love the outfit, but I love the way it's layered on the Nendoroid. The hair is done really well, considering the fact that, you know, it has to be like a two-toned hairstyle. The faceplates that Momo comes with, amazing, beautiful, great. He even comes with like heart hands. It's so cute. And just like everything about the Momo Nendoroid, perfection. Obviously, I also love Momo a lot. He's my favourite character in Idol 7, so naturally I'm gonna love that. He comes with glasses, of course. I've never had him without the glasses. He will always have glasses. But yes, I absolutely love him. And oh, is it enough for Bury Me with it? Is it enough? I feel like it's enough. I feel like it's not quite Tamaki level, but I feel like it is enough. And then, of course, we have his partner, Yuki. Now, Yuki, I'm gonna be honest, very sadly, I do not feel the same way that I feel about Momo's Nendoroid. First of all, the way that they've done his hair is awful because if you can see, you probably can't, but on his arm, I have several spots that you can kind of see. I have several spots of paint transfer purely from his hair. And it's not like I made this pose all on my own. This is actually one of the suggested poses. So I feel like you shouldn't have the hair in a way that you're expecting people to pose it to cause paint transfer. But it is what it is. In terms of like his actual faceplates and things, they're not as fun as Momo's, and obviously he's a different kind of character, so you're gonna get different kinds of expressions, but I still feel like they could have done more different ones for Yuki. In terms of accessories as well, I feel like it doesn't really come with anything good or fun. Like, he comes with a pen, I believe. And obviously he writes songs, so I get that's what they're going for, but I don't know, I just feel like there was lost potential on this Yuki Nendoroid. He's okay. Oh my gosh. Oh. We're gonna stop throwing him around now. So that is a sign that Yuki is gonna go and could be better. That's so sad. I'm so sorry, Yuki. It's not as bad as Sogo, but I'm so sorry. I can't believe you and your husband are so far apart. So next up we do have Iori and Kinko. But no, Iori. So in terms of design and outfit, I definitely think this is one of the higher up ones in Idol 7, at least in my personal opinion. Like, I definitely prefer this outfit choice compared to some of the others. I said this before when I was like posing him and opening him, that I didn't feel like the faceplates were very Iori. I feel like there was more that could have been done, definitely. I love the fact that he comes with Kineko, but that's just because I like having Kineko. I said this also before, that this doesn't really relate to him much in any way, in my opinion, but I guess who else is going to come with Kineko? So, I mean, I guess that's your argument there. I mean, it is very cute when they are together, but other than that, yeah, I do think the hair sculpt is really good on his, in general. It also annoys me that for him, they decided to make the necklace attached to him, but for Riku it's separate for some reason. I wish they would have kept it consistent. Even though I don't like the attached necklace, I wish in this case they just kept it consistent among the characters. But yeah, I'm so torn on where to put him, because there's definitely parts of him that are really good, and there's parts that I really think could be better. He doesn't quite spark joy, I feel, when I'm looking at these. Like, I would put Vanitas higher than Iori. So for that reason, Iori is going to go and could be better. I feel like I should order these within the tiers. Okay, we're going to order these. Vanitas is going here. Okay, next up we do have Mitsuki. As you can see, his glasses are falling quite a bit. I do have a problem with keeping his glasses in place. But other than that, I think this is an amazing Nendoroid. I love this Nendoroid so much. I love the colour and gradient on the hair and the sculpt of the hair. Once again, how they've hidden the seam line in this hair is probably the best out of any of the Nendoroids. Maybe Momo's is slightly better, but like, it's non-existent. Can you tell? I can't tell. Well, I can tell, but you get what I mean. It's really well hidden in the hair sculpt, and I love the accessories that he comes with. I love the outfit that they've chosen with the little bunny hoodie. I love his little heart fingers. And he comes with glasses plus bonus. And he's amazing Nendoroid. He's so cute. I love him. He brings me so much joy and definitely cuteness aggression. So guess where he's going? And he's gonna go at the top of cuteness aggression. He's not quite burying me with it, but he's almost there. You're almost there, Mickey. And then, of course, we do have Nagi. Now, this is an Nendoroid where I hate the outfit, but I love the faceplates and accessories that it comes with. That almost makes up for it, I feel like. And I mean, I know I'm talking about the outfits. It is just the outfits from the show. I know the Nendoroids aren't responsible for the outfits, but they are responsible for choosing which outfit they use, and also what parts they choose to accentuate. I will say, from afar it does look better, but up close I can't deal I can't deal with the outfit. But as you can see, he comes with very, very cute accessories, and I absolutely love them. I love the faceplates. Look at this star faceplate. It's so good. It's just such a good Nendoroid. If you love Nagi, this is amazing, perfect, wonderful. Even the seam lines, even though his hair doesn't quite have as many like bang pieces, it is good. I do remember having some issues with taking off his hair plate to put the faceplates in, and I do know in general, or can see in general, that the hair sculpt isn't great. However, I don't care about that. Nagi is going in cuteness aggression, and he is going to go right next to Mitsuki, because that's where he deserves to be. Good job, Nagi. Okay, we are finally at the last Idol 7 Nendoroid, and it is View. And View's Nendoroid is very cute. It's very View, and I love that. However, in terms of accessories and things that he comes with, I do think it could be a bit better. None of the accessories that he comes with, I really think represent him. I do know the bonus like accessory that you could get is the Thunder Dry drink, which is makes the most sense, but I don't have that, so we're not including that. I feel like View's a little let down by this Nendoroid. I feel like there are so many parts that they could choose to kind of represent with his character, and he's just kind of there. Even the like faceplates, I mean, they do work. They do work. And I do love this little happy smiley one. He's so happy. Look at him. But I just remember when I was opening this, I was just so torn on what to pose him with, because nothing really like spoke to me. Nothing jumped out to me, and I was like, yeah, that's Ryu. You know, that's my biggest issue. Once again, though, the seam in this is hidden really well for the hairline, and I gotta give bonus points for that. That's just, it's so satisfying when it's like that. So Yu is gonna go, I think he's gonna go at the bottom of Spark's Joy. Very sadly. I wish he could be higher, but unfortunately there's more that could have been done, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Okay, we are finally free from Idler 7, and we have moved into Sasaki Miyano. Now, these were the first Nendoroids that I did order. They weren't the first ones I received, but the first ones that I ordered. I did originally have them holding hands, but they kept falling, so they are now no longer holding hands. I'm so sorry, I know, unbelievable. But yes, we will start with Sasaki. Now, I love Sasaki's hair sculpt so much. It is so good, and I love the way that they've done the layers on his uniform. I do kind of dislike, I mean, I know this is the same with all Nendoroids that do this, but with the way that they've done, like, the pockets where you just kind of, like, put it to the side, I don't really, like, I understand there's probably not a better way to do it, I just think it does look a bit weird and awkward, especially because Nendoroids are so hard to pose perfectly. In terms of faceplates, so you do have this regular one, you have a super happy, smiling one, and then you have one where he's like sticking his tongue out, which is in reference to one very specific moment from the series, and I do feel like that one could have been something else. I don't know what, maybe a jealous faceplate, or I don't know, there's other ones rather than referencing one, like a specific moment. I just feel like, or maybe like even just like him painfully longing for Miyano. I think that would have been a really cute faceplate. So that's my one criticism. For accessories, he does come with headphones and a peach soda. I do just think in general he is a solid Nendoroid and I do love him. So where are we gonna put Sasaki? I think you're going in Spark's Joy. I think he's gonna go at the top of Spark's Joy. He's not quite cuteness aggression, because he's very cute though. But there are other elements that I feel like need to be amplified before he can be upgraded to cuteness aggression. But now we do have Miyano, who did just drop his book. So let's all pretend he's reading. I can try and put it back in there. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't fall while I'm speaking. So Miyano's Nendoroid. Adorable. Absolutely adorable. I do think in terms of sculpt, there's more going on with Sasaki, but the way that they have delivered on Miyano's hair and the little like sprouts and little like bits that are coming out, I just think are so well done. In terms of accessories, he comes with a book, he comes with a bag of manga that he's just bought, and I don't believe there's anything else. Oh no, he does come with wasabi candy, I believe, which I thought was an interesting choice. But I just feel so much joy looking at this, which makes you think I'm going to put in Spark's Joy. But no, he's definitely a cuteness aggression. I love him. Also, I absolutely love, so I know that they've done this on all the kind of Nendoroids, but the way that they've done it on Miyano's is my favourite, which is the kind of slight gradient on the hair in the shading. So it makes it like look light and reflective. Like if we compare it to Vanitas, for example, you can see the difference in the way the hair is shaded and done. It just perfectly reflects the art style and I absolutely love it. So yes, I know I already spoiled where he's going, but he is definitely going in cuteness aggression. Where in cuteness aggression? I think we go, no, I'm sorry Miyano, you've got to go at the top of cuteness aggression. Definitely. He's not quite burying me with it. I know, unbelievable, I can't believe I'm saying that. But he is adorable and I love him so much. Look at him. Also, in terms of faceplates, he comes with great faceplates, and his eyes are so prettily done on them. Okay, next up we do have the girlies, who have unfortunately had a bit of an accident. Takena's arm has been severed off, but that's okay. They were holding hands, but yes, unfortunately we do just have Chisato with Takena's severed arm. Okay, so Chisato, she is such a cute Nendoroid. I love her so much. I think the fact that her design is so peppy goes really well with the Nendoroid look. The way the uniform is done really well. I love her hairstyle, and the way that is incorporated. Sorry, I just saw something on her. I love the hairstyle and the way it's incorporated in the Nendoroid style. It is just a good, solid Nendoroid, and she's very, very cute. In terms of things that she comes with, I don't actually remember at all. Okay, so it looks like she comes with a gun and a bag, and I do remember that Takena comes with a lot more guns. So I do think potentially there is more things that she could have come with, but I do think they have delivered very well on her in like a Nendoroid form. She is very, very cute. And where do I want to put her? She's going to go in Spark's Joy, and she is going to go above Noe but below Alon. And then next up we do have Takana, who is sadly missing her arm currently. In terms of, like, if I look at this compared to when I look at Chisato, I don't feel the same level of joy. I definitely look at Chisato's and I like hers more. However, as I mentioned, she does come with a lot more accessories and you're getting a lot more bang for your buck with her. And obviously her character is slightly more less expressionate. However, she does still show quite a lot of expressions actually in the series. Obviously I have her on the smiling one and I believe she has a regular one. Yeah, so it does look like that you are losing that faceplate in like kind of replacement for the accessories. Let me just check how many Chisato comes. Oh no, she does have an angry faceplate, so you do still get 3. I don't know, it's hard to put her in the same level, I just feel like, in my opinion. Especially because I'm not using the arsenal that she comes with. So for that reason, see, I feel like it's not quite could be better. I feel like it is the bottom of Spark's Joy, but she is sadly separated from Chisato. Yeah, that's how I feel. That is how I feel. Oh my god, it's been an hour. We're almost there, Okay. Next up, we have a bit of a special Nendoroid. I feel like I guess I should take him out. I am kind of scared to hold him for reasons that I will get into. But yes, this is Toma from Amnesia, which, if you didn't know, is a otome game turned anime. It was the first anime I ever watched, shockingly. And there's just a lot of things about this character, which we won't get into in this video. But in terms of his Nendoroid, in terms of his sculpt, and what he comes with, so his sculpt I do think is really good. However, it is painful. If you know, when I did my unboxing video of him, his hair is genuinely so painful. It's like impossible to hold and take off the front part of his hair without stabbing yourself, which I think is actually kind of really bad. But considering this is a product where you're made to like take this part off, I do think they should have done something about the spikiness of the hair. Because genuinely, like, I think if I push my finger in all the way, I could probably draw blood, which, you know, you shouldn't want from a figure. Like, that genuinely is kind of, I feel like, a quality control issue, in my opinion. Like, I know they're all like this, but I feel like they shouldn't all be like that, you know? In terms of accessories and what he comes with, so he does obviously have these handcuffs. He comes with a picture of the cage from the game, which, if you didn't know, that's why I've got him in here, which I just think is very lazy. Like, why do they just take, like, they just printed out a PNG image from the game rather than giving him an actual accessory related to it? Obviously he has the handcuffs, but that's not what I'm talking about. I don't know, I just feel like that was a weird choice, you know? Obviously in terms of sculpt and everything, he is great. He is great in that area. But I don't know, I feel like he sparks joy because I enjoy seeing him in this little cage I made. But other than that, I do think he could be better. I've said this multiple times. The sculpt is really good, but those aren't the issues that I personally have with him. I think in terms of things he comes with, it was very lazy, and I don't think you should have a figure where literally the whole point is customizable, and that you can take it apart and put it together in the way that you like, but it is actually possible to hurt someone by doing what it is intended to do, you know? So Toma is gonna go in could be better. I do think he's gonna go above Soko. Unfortunately. You don't deserve that, Soko, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, next we have the Ouran Nendoroids. Okay, so I do think in general these Ouran Nendoroids aren't gonna be too high, because I don't think there's too much going on with them. I love the fact that they exist. But in general, there isn't much to say about them, I think. Haruhi's probably one of my favourites. I don't know why, but there's like a little speck on her forehead, and I don't know what that's from. But okay. I do love her other faceplates, actually. I just thought this was very good with the scene I was creating. But I do really like her other faceplates, and I do think they're very reminiscent of Haruhi. I just think she is a good, solid Nendoroid, and I think she's simply just gotta go in Spark's Joy, and probably above you. But she's not gonna go any higher than that, sadly. Which is sad because she is an icon. And then next up we do have the Shadow King, Kyoya Otori himself. Kyoya is very well done, I do think. But once again, there's just not much to say about him, in my opinion. I mean, he definitely suits Kyoya. He has all the accessories that he needs. I love the way that they've done the glasses, to be honest. Hair sculpt is good. The way that they've hidden the seam is good. He is a good, solid Nendoroid. I do think he's just gonna go directly below Harry, because I feel a little bit more love towards Harry when I look at her. Okay, and then we do have Tamaki, which I do think, in terms of the Ouran Nendoroids, this is the one that has utilised the Nendoroid format the most. Obviously, you've got him in his throne. You can obviously have him not sitting down in his throne. The accessories that comes with just work well with his personality and can help you to create funny scenes, and pairing it up with the other members of the club are really good. Hair sculpt, solid. Obviously, the kind of paint job on the outfits is all the same because they're all wearing the same uniform. But Tamaki is just a really good, solid Nendoroid. Like, I think he's gonna go higher than Harry. He's not gonna go quite in Keen Discretion. I don't quite feel that way. I do think above 10, but below no way? Yeah, that feels good. So that is where Tamaki is gonna go. I feel like I don't have much to say about the Ouran Nendoroids, but they're just good, solid figures. As I said, though, this is the one that utilises the Nendoroid format the most, and look, how can you not smile when you look at that? Okay, next up we do have Hikaru and Kaoru. Kaoru is actually my favourite character from Ouran High School Heroes Club, so you'd think that these would be the highest. However, I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel much when I look at these. I do think Kaoru's like little smiling faceplate is adorable. They do also both come with alternate heads that has the alternate hair colours from that one episode of the series. But other than that, they're just there. They just exist for me. Like, they do represent the characters well, but I don't know, especially their regular faceplates, even though it is them, to me, it doesn't feel like them, you know? Like, it is accurate to the art style and everything, but maybe because they're always so goofy and things that I feel like this is more representative of them. But yeah, I do find it higher to rank them higher than Haruhi and Tamaki. I'm trying to decide if I would put them higher than Kyoya. Even though they are largely the same Nendoroid. They are basically the same Nendoroid, but they do come with slightly different things. So I do think I'm going to put Kaoru above Hikaru. Yeah, and I'm trying to decide. I do think they're just all going to go here. They're all just, like, good, solid Nendoroids, but there isn't much to say about them. That's how I feel about the Ouran Nendoroids as a whole. But as a big fan of the series, I love owning them. I mean, they're still in the Sparks Joy category. It's just like, in terms of things to talk about, there isn't a lot going on, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. Okay, next up we are moving to the Oshinoko Nendoroids. So first up we do have Aqua. Now, it's very interesting because obviously we were looking at Nagi earlier and they do have very similar hairstyle. But the way it's done on Aqua's I actually think is better. Yeah, I was just looking again. I mean, obviously there's a lot more detail on this and it is obviously representative of the different art styles, and in general Oshinoko does have a lot more like strokes and things in the hair, but there is definitely more detail in this hair sculpt in comparison to Nagi, for example. The accessories he comes with, great. Other than that, he is just basic. He's a basic Nendoroid. I don't have like huge attachment to Aqua, so I just love the fact that he comes with this little light stick and the little sign for Bikumachi. I think that's great, and I love pairing that with his blank faceplate. I don't remember what his other faceplates are. I know he has one with the darker eye, but I don't know what the other one is. So he's definitely going in Sparks Joy, but it's where? I mean, in terms of general Nendoroid quality, I feel like he does have to go here. I think this is a good place for him. I think that makes the most sense to me. I feel like I should have another category between here and here. There's a lot in this category. Unfortunately, that's just how it's worked out. But then we are moving to Kana. Now, when I first got this Nendoroid, I was singing this Nendoroid's praises, and I still love this Nendoroid. However, there are definitely some issues with it that I've noticed since owning it. Her hat falls off constantly. I also have had like some kind of paint transfer on her hair, which is sad. But in terms of her actual sculpt and everything, it is great. I still love the gradient on her hair and the sculpt of her hair. I love her faceplates. Her faceplates are so good. And the flare of her skirt is also really good in my opinion. Like, I love the way that they've done it where it like flares out and has the little kind of, it's not quite pleats, but it has the motion. And yeah, just the details of her outfit are so good. But like, literally this faceplate makes it. She is very clearly going in cuteness aggression. very, very clearly wearing cuteness aggression. There. She's going there. She deserves that place. Good job, Kanna. I'm so proud of you. Oh, she's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. We are in like the home stretch. The last 5. Oh my god, there is so much dust. Wow. Okay, well, we're doing Dunhung next from Honkai Star Rail. His Cloud Piercer did just fall out of his hand, which constantly happens, which instantly minus points. But in terms of his sculpt and everything, so this is the series that I was kind of referencing earlier when I was saying that a Nendoroid line that does really well with lots of details, but actually putting it into the Nendoroid form. It does such a good job with that, and that is the same with all of the Star Rail Nendoroids. I do think out of the Nendoroids that I own, and I believe these are the only ones that are released at this point, I do think Dunhung is the weakest of them, purely because of the kind of character that he is. It benefits the least out of having a Nendoroid form. That being said, he is still a really well-made Nendoroid. But in terms of where I want to put him, because in terms of his faceplate, he really doesn't come with a lot. And I believe in terms of accessories, he has his phone, he has Cloud Piercer, and then he does have a Maple Leaf. Now, obviously, Cloud Piercer is pretty cool. But the fact that it constantly falls out, I feel like, is a disadvantage in this race. So, he is going to go in Spark's Joy. Where in Spark's Joy? I do think... I think he goes above. I think he goes there. I think that is a good place. I also feel like I'm gonna promote Sasaki and Alan into cuteness aggression. I'm Chisato. Yeah. I feel good about that. I'm promoting them. Just looking at them again, I do feel like they deserve to be in cuteness aggression. Do I want to promote Miyano? We'll think about it. We'll think about it at the end. But yes, that is where Dunhung is going. So next up we do have March. Now, as you can see, her bow just fell out. But I love all the details on her bow. I love that they incorporated all that. All the details on her outfit, so good. The fact that she comes with a camera that you can take off and have her hold as well, so good. They've literally incorporated all of the details so well, in my opinion. They do get a slight miss for not having the paint job on this little sash, but it is a small part of the outfit, so I will let them off. But I would have expected at least one like white streak or something, but for some reason they did not do that. In terms of her faceplates, I mean, she does have very cute faceplates. I love all of the poses that you can do with her. You can really do a lot with her, I feel like. With the accessories that she has, obviously she's got her bow, you can have her having a camera, she has her phone. There is just a lot going on with her. And I do think she's just a really good, solid Nendoroid. She really does well in the Nendoroid format as well, just because she is quite the cutesy, peppy character, and those characters always seem to be better in Nendoroids, in my opinion. At least for what I like Nendoroids for. And for that reason, she's going to go at the bottom of cuteness aggression. She is going to go... She's not going to go above Alan, I don't think. Which I'm very sad about, because I do love March. I love her design so much. Yeah. I do think... I'm wondering if I should move Alan up. I'm going to move Alan here. And then I'm going to move March there. Yeah, that feels good to me. Okay. We have rejiggled. That is where she's going. And then we do have the last Star Rail Nendoroid, which is also the most recent addition to my collection, and that is the Adventuring Nendoroid. This Nendoroid, perfection. I love this Nendoroid so much. I know I've just gotten him, so I know it's recency bias, but the details on his outfit, amazing. Hair sculpt, amazing. Faceplates, amazing. Accessories, amazing. There is not a single thing that I dislike about him. I also feel like he was pretty easy to get the stand in, which never happens for an Nendoroid. Just everything about him, perfection. I literally... Okay, I lied. I have one very minor thing, and that is the paint job around his little, like, chest window. Could be better, but it's so small, you don't notice. You still get the gold shine and things. And just all the details, the gradient on his earring, just everything. There's so many things on his outfit, and they've really done well incorporating it all into his design. So... yeah, also his, like, I love the swoosh so much. I know it's removable, so you can put the hat on. It's so good. So I think he might be the top Nendoroid. I think I think he's got it. I know this is it recency bias? In terms of everything, he just ticks all the boxes. He is a 10 out of 10 Nendoroid. He is a 20 out of 10 Nendoroid. He is perfection. So sadly, he has dethroned Tamaki. Okay, lastly, we are on to the Pandora Hearts Nendoroids, which is saving the best to last, in my opinion. If you didn't know, Pandora Hearts is my absolute favourite series of all time, and when they announced these Nendoroids, I could not believe it. I was screaming about it for months until the release, and then I screamed about it some more when they released, and I can't believe I own them and they're here, and they're so good. They're such good Nendoroids and representations of the characters. So of course first we do have Oz. I love him so much, I have 2 of them. The faceplates he comes with are great, so you have like a regular, bit more serious one, which kind of reflects the cover of the first volume. You've got this super happy smiling one, and then you've got a kind of in-between, and they work for Oz so well. This is literally him. Like, you can't see up there, but I have an art thingy there, which is literally basically this exactly. It translates the art so perfectly into Nendoroid form, and I love that. I love how they've incorporated his outfit. The way that they've done the lines on the shorts are perfect. There isn't a single fault on them. Of course, the plush rabbit that he has with him, perfect. The watch that he comes with, perfect. He does also come with a rose, which I remember commenting on being like a bit confused on why that was the accessory that they chose, but I can overlook that. That is a point I can overlook. He, without a doubt, one of my favourite characters of all time, is going in. Bury me with it. And sadly, I don't think he dethrones Aventurine just because Aventurine is perfect in all ways and shapes and forms. But Oz, my boy, you are getting very close. You are almost there. I love him so much. I wouldn't trade him for the world. Maybe I should put him at the top of the list. Should I put him at the top of the list? It's so incredibly biased if I do, but it is my tier list. You know what? Screw it. It's my tier list. He's going at the top. He deserves it. And then, last but not least, we do have Drake, and of course, Emily. So, Drake, perfection as an Nendoroid. In similar way to Aventurine, obviously you do have Emily, and Emily you can accessorize by putting on top of his head, or you can put him on the side of his arm as well. In terms of accessories, he obviously comes with Emily, he comes with a lollipop, and he comes with his cane. And I just love the way that they've done the sleeves. I love the details on the hair, his little hair bumps, the choppy parts on the back, perfection. He's incorporated so well into an Nendoroid. His faceplates are also really good. I remember really struggling between what I wanted to choose, and I did end up choosing his basic one, but all of them are so good. And I love him. I love him so much. And I would say my one thing about it, which this is such a minor detail because you can't even see it, but I do wish on the faceplate, so they do have it, so he does have his other eye just closed. I do wish they did have it as, like, the whole, but I understand why they didn't do that. But that would have been a cool detail. So, anyway, of course, probably expected, he is going in Bury Me With It. He will go below Aventurine. I won't promote him, even though I want to. No, I won't. Because I do think Aventurine is the better Nendoroid. I just have such an affection for Pandora Hearts, so it's clouding my judgment. But with that, the tier list is done. I have been recording for 1 hour and 20 minutes. My god. I'm so sorry. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. But this is my final tier list. I agree with this. I don't think I want to move anything else. Actually, do I want to move Miano up there? I want to move Miano up there. Okay. That is my final tier list. I hope this was enjoyable. As I said, do let me know if there's any other series you want me to do tier list for, or anything else that you want me to do tier list for. As you can see, I can yap quite a bit. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favourite Nendoroid is, and I will see you all in the next one.